Today, we're going to be going over what I think is one of the best loadouts in Call of Duty Black Ops 6. This is for your average player. This is going to make you play a lot better, and it's going to make you get those kills, whether it's a short, medium, or long range. This is a very versatile loadout and can be used across all maps. So let's jump into the basics of this loadout, go with the guns, the perks, everything like that. Then we're going to get into the nitty-gritty, the gunsmith part. So first off, you got an AK-74. I'm going to go into that later. Next up, 9mm pistol. You're really not going to be using this, same with the knife. For the tactical, we're using a flashbang. The goal here is to throw it to get those extra points. You can get a little bit of XP if you flashbang someone, and that's going to help get your score streaks. Next up, you get Semtex. I like that. Honestly, in this case, you can use whatever works best for you. And finally, you got Warcry. This is going to boost your teammates, and anytime they get a kill when Warcry has been activated, you're going to get some extra points. So again, this is really good towards getting those kill streaks, so score streaks. Now, next up, you've got Flak Jacket. I like that over Tactical Mask just because I tend to get more explosive damage than Flashbang and everything like that. Dispatcher, I like that because it reduces the score cost for non-lethal score streaks. This is great because you can just get your score streaks faster. Fast Hands is a nice if you plan to be switching weapons a lot. So if you're running some sort of deal where you've got two guns here, that could work out, but I prefer to go with the dispatcher. And finally, you've got Quartermaster. Quartermaster, I like it. Honestly, you can use any of these. They're all pretty much equal. The main thing here is you want to get that strategist bonus. I think this is something a lot of people are sleeping on because you earn a score bonus when you achieve objectives. So assuming you're going for W's, going for wins, you're going to be getting those boosts anyways, and that's going to let you hit your score streaks so much faster. When you combine that with a UAV and something like a care package and a helicopter, you're just going to go bing, bang, boom, run right through them. And right off the bat, a lot of the times you get that extra boost, which just can lead to more and more score streaks, which leads to more and more death and destruction in your favor, of course. And finally, we're going to be using a gunfighter. I like it because 3 extra attachment points is pretty OP. Now, let's get into the guns. First off, we're using the AK-74. I feel like this is a pretty good assault rifle. I like assault rifles because they do have you covered a little bit when it comes to short range. You're still going to get overplayed by SMGs and shotguns, but that's a given. When it comes to medium range, that's where they really dominate. In long range, they can still hold their own. There's not that many spots at long range that are going to work out for people, and the same goes for short range when it comes to these maps. Most likely, medium range is what's going to help you the most, and the fact that this gun can cover all of it, especially with these attachments, makes it all that much better. Now, first off, when it comes to the sights, I prefer the Prism Tech, but honestly, any of these reflex sights tends to do good. I'm not a big fan of any sort of magnification, but that's up to you, and it really does depend on the map you're playing. If you get a map that's going to be a little bit longer distance, it could make sense to even throw down some sort of like 1.5x magnification or something like that on your gun. Next up, for the muzzle suppressor, for me, that's just a given. I like to not show up on minimaps. I think that's just the best thing you can get for any gun, and I'm going to stand by that. If you disagree, let me know down below in the comments. For the barrel, we're going with the long barrel. Again, this is going to increase that damage range, and I think that's really going to help you. It's going to help you in most maps. If you are playing on a smaller map, the CHF barrel, assuming you've got really good aim and you can get over that recoil control issue, can be extremely overpowered. It only really works that well on shorter maps. So what I like to do is if I'm running a second class or second loadout, have one with that CHF barrel on it because that is going to help, especially if you're really accurate. Long barrel, that's sort of my go-to. There's a few other ones that might make sense, like something like a reinforced barrel, but I do prefer long. Next up, we've got the vertical foregrip, just using this to reduce the horizontal recoil control. There could be some arguments for using pretty much any of these, the precision foregrip or the lightweight foregrip. Same with the ranger foregrip. This is nice because it does increase your sprinting movement speed. So honestly, this or the vertical foregrip, those are my two go-tos. Ranger, Ranger, now that I think about it, Ranger could be a little bit OP. So maybe you do want to go with that instead of vertical, but it's pretty close tie. Now for the magazine, I like the extended mag 1. It increases your magazine capacity, but you don't have any of the aim down sight speed issues or sprint to fire speed issues that you would have with the extended mag 2 or 3. These two are nice, but honestly, I do like one better. I play around with using an extended mag 2, and that can be a nice middle ground, but that slowness just doesn't do it for me. When it comes to rear grip, I like the ergonomic grip. It gives you a nice slide to fire, dive to fire, and aim down sight speed. Aim down sight speed is one that's pretty important to me. So that was something that I really didn't want to sacrifice, and that's why I went with it. The quick draw is another really good one if you're looking for that aim down sight speed. I do like the fact that slide and dive to fire speed is improved. If you notice on my gameplay, I'm using a lot of slides and a lot of dives. So that ergonomic grip it's just a must for me. Again, if you're not using the slides, you're not using the dives, you're probably missing out, but quick draw might be the way to go for you. Now, when we come to the stock, I went with the balanced stock. I just like the fact that it increases your speed overall. There can be some argument for the really light stock, but I'd go with the balanced stock over light, but I'd go with one of these two basically. The laser, I don't like to use lasers at all. As you can see, it's an extra perk, so like it's an extra attachment, so it mean I have to pull something off. But laser also tends to give you away. So I think laser is one of those things that you're actually handicapping yourself if you use. And finally, for the fire mods, I like the recoil springs. It just reduces your horizontal and vertical recoil, and there's not a lot of countering done for those two in this build, so I like to throw those springs on just to counter that. Overall, though, I find this to be a very good, fairly high movement gun with this loadout. You want to be using those slides, you want to be using those dives, and you want to be just aiming down the sights. If you're someone who's hip firing or something like that, this isn't a gun for you. If you tend to dive, slide, aim down sights a lot, this is a perfect gun, especially if you find yourself in a lot of medium to long range situations. If you're going in short range a lot and you find yourself just getting up close and personal with people, this is not the gun I'd recommend for you. But medium to long range, and for a lot of general sort of casual and mid-level players, this gun is going to work out perfectly. It's going to let you handle a lot of different situations, and you're not really going to have to play the map to the point where you put yourself purposely in situations where you can excel. You're just going to find yourself naturally in a lot of situations where this gun does excel. So hopefully you find some help with this gun. You can look at all the stats here. Let's tackle the details because some people care about that. The headshots, it is a little bit nerfed. If you look here, like I was talking about with this, if you put that CHF barrel on, you can get 37 for those headshots. It's a really nice boost multiplier, and you will find yourself getting a lot more kills if you can place those shots correctly. But what I found is it's pretty hard to do, and I haven't even had that much luck with this. Once I play a couple games, I can sort of get myself a little bit more tuned in and start landing those shots. But for your average player, that's probably not going to be that's not going to be something you want to do. Overall, again, you got no suppression. I like the fact that it does reduce a lot of the kick and the control issues. It speeds you up a good bit, and your aim down sight speed does increase. Add into that extended mag, which means you can dump rounds into people. This is a pretty solid build, in my opinion. Got any changes or you found anything that works better for you, please let me know down below in the comments. I don't want to waste your time, so I'm going to end the video here. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, peace.